You know, sometimes you encounter a visual that can sometimes just take your breath away. And I can tell you guys, the visual of this tower here, the first time I saw it, not from here, like in the middle of the air flying on a mount. I'm talking like down there. So that over there is Loch Modan. Now, you know, for those of you who perhaps as either a human or a dwarf early on, you remember what it's like questing in the early levels down there, and then you look over in this direction and you see this gigantic tower over here? Now, I'm not talking back in the day, like before Cataclysm, because obviously it didn't. Well, at least I don't think it existed back then. If you played before Cataclysm and you actually know whether or not this actually was here or not, go ahead and let me know. I assume this only popped up here when Cataclysm came around, because these are the Twilight Highlands, where the Twilight's hammer is a kind of an important thing in this area here. And this tower here is very representative of that. I mean, just look at this. The swirling energy and power around this swirling tower. And the first time I actually tried to get in here, I was kind of confused. I was like, well, the door is like, what, down here, right? If people want to walk in? No. No. You know where the door is? At the very top. And I was like, wow. It's like, I gotta go all the way up here to the very top to find the entrance. That's awesome. Yep, there it is. This is the Bastion of Twilight raid, where the Twilight's hammer became a big factor in this expansion because, of course, they were kind of working for Deathwing during that time. Ignore the Grim Patrol thing, because that's also in this area here on this map. It's right over here, actually, this dungeon. But yeah, the Bastion of Twilight, where we came here to kind of deal with Cho'Gal. You know Cho'Gal, right? If you are familiar with my Heroes of the Storm content, you definitely are familiar with Cho'Gal in that game. Yeah, he's the raid boss in this. Now, the funny thing is, for this raid, on normal, he's the final boss. But on heroic, it doesn't matter if it's 10 or 25, either one. On heroic, we get an extra boss, Sinestra. And this is kind of relevant. I mean, this is a... Not only is this not only is this a whole extra boss for the raid, but this is a relevant character, considering what's going on in this expansion, because this character is very relevant involving Deathwing. So, I'm also using my shaman for this because there is a mace that can drop in this raid. The Twilight's hammer. This is basically Cho'Gal's mace. I want this appearance. It's a one-handed mace, and there's only a few classes that can actually be able to pick it up in terms of one-handed mace training. And I decided, you know what, I'm just going to use my shaman for this. I mean, after all, Cataclysm became a raid where your shaman kind of became a relevant class. Let's just say we deal with a lot of elemental stuff during this raid, and of course with Thrall being a big focal point. Remember, this was the expansion where Thrall shifted from being the war chief to being the shaman of Azeroth, basically. So we are going to be doing this on 10-man heroic, so we can be able to do the Sinestra boss. Let's head on in. And I love this raid mainly because we get to hear Cho'Gal throughout, and Cho'Gal makes me smile. I find Cho'Gal very entertaining. Okay.
It's too far away.
We got like the whole Twilight's hammer coming here. Come on, come get me. Draw them in.
Target.
What? No money? What? Hey. 5 seconds, please.
I need to get closer.
What's the matter? They don't pay the Twilight Hammer people? Where's the money? A Storm Rider. Alright, so our first boss, in fact, is that coming up here in a moment? Yeah. Halfus Wyrmbreaker. Imbued with unnatural power and stamina by Cho'Gal, the Halfus Wyrmbreaker captures dragons for use as fodder in the Twilight's Hammer's rituals. To this end, he has enslaved a behemoth proto-dragon to aid him in hunting down his winged prey. There's a few things I can get here as a shaman. You know, the funny thing is, a lot of the tier 1 versions of the armor sets you can get in these raids, you can just purchase from a few different vendors in Orgrimmar. Time more. Ah, that reminds me, I need to go do the heroic calling a strat home and get my bronze drake at some point. I keep forgetting to do that. Can I take down the drake first? Oh, there we go. So as long as I take him down, it just takes down the drake as well. Alright. Alright. Helm. Ooh, offhand. I'll take that. Alright. Oh, no, nope, nope. Alright, the Book of Binding Will. What was that other item? It was a helm. Headpiece of the Raging Elements. I mean, I already have that appearance from a different thing. Not exactly something I'm dying for. Alright. So our next bosses are actually a couple of dragons. Theralion and Valiona. I think they're brother and sister. Oh, I could get a pet here, which I don't have. Alright. I could get a dagger. A couple different pieces, but I already have the appearances. Magically aged to adulthood, Valiona and Theralion were to be paragons among a new clutch of Twilight dragons, leading their brood in scouring Azeroth of life. Instead, they waste their incredible powers constantly bickering and fighting each other. Yep, sounds like a brother and sister.
Brothers in chaos, the Twilight has come.
Shadows lengthen, endless night.
Deathwing has sundered this world,
Cho'Gal!
Doors once opened never close.
so that its true lords may return.
The master comes. He comes, he comes.
So yeah, as you can pick up from that, they are serving
Brothers of the
Deathwing.
Hammer, to me!
The will is still their own.
The unbelievers still stand. Destroy them!
Crush their bodies, crush their will.
They just ignored me. Hey, Cho'Gal!
It's too far away. Brothers in chaos, the Twilight has come.
Shadows lengthen, endless night.
Deathwing has sundered this world,
Doors once opened.
so that its true lords may return.
He comes.
It's too far away. His fall! Cast down the heretic!
I guess you're supposed to take out the ads for this portion here.
Twilight has come.
Shadows linked to the endless night.
The Twilight has come. That sounds like Garrosh.
Close.
So that its true lords may return.
The master comes. He comes, he comes.
Master comes. He comes. He comes.
Heed his call! Cast down the heretics! It's too far. Has come.
Shadows lengthen, endless night.
Deathwing has sundered this world.
Doors once opened never close.
So that its true lords may return. Theralion,
comes.
put them in their
Comes, he
place.
comes.
Do as the Master commands, Theralion! Kill them!
The Master was clearly speaking to you, Valiona.
Heed his call! Cast down the heretics!
Dare you call me worthless? See why I am Mother's favorite child!
You are his chosen one,
He calls you. He knows you.
born of flesh,
Flesh.
purified by blood, destined for immortality.
Look at the eyes. Oh my gosh.
Heed his call! Cast down the heretics! It's too far away. You are his chosen one. He called away and by blood, destined for immortality.
Come closer, closer. Let us see your faces. All will be humbled before his power.
Brothers of the Hammer, to me!
Their will is still their own.
The unbelievers still stand. Destroy them!
Crush their bodies, crush their will.
I'm just gonna move on.
I'm afraid.
Because I don't know what I'm supposed to do over there to kind of break Cho'Gal out of that little chant that he's doing.
Welcome, mortal.
Frail little
Okay, here we go.
children.
Few have laid eyes on this innocent.
They reach out to touch the fire.
There we go. New staff appearance. Nice. Alright. So I don't know if you guys caught that because Cho'Gal was talking over them, but as I said, they were both arguing. You know, like that. Said, "Do as the Master commands, Theralion. Kill them. The Master was clearly speaking to you, Valiona. I am far too busy to attack anyone. Heed his call. Call down." Oh wait, no, that's Cho'Gal. "You are worthless, Theralion. How dare you call me worthless? You will see why I am Mother's favorite child." Yep, definitely brother and
It
sister.
is here, the chosen.
Ascendant Council.
Realize
Yeah, this is a room where you
destiny.
gotta
One with eternity.
And it is here that you will realize
take out the
your
rest of these.
Fire, water, earth, air.
leave your mortal shell behind.
Fire, water, earth, air.
Embrace your new forms, for here and ever after.
Burn and drown in passion suffocate.
Destroy the unbelievers.
Okay.
We unimpressive.
Ow.
To have made it this far.
But now, witness true power
Of the elements!
By our powers combined, we are Element Planet! Or Captain Element! Look, it was obviously we're going for a Captain Planet joke, okay? Or a Voltron thing. You know. I'm just saying. It was kind of obvious. Oh, I actually like that sword appearance. Ah, and I can't pick it up because I'm a shaman. Because a shaman apparently can't learn how to use swords. Oh, well. At least I got these. Funny thing is, I already had them. Ah, fine. Alright, well, Cho'Gal is up next. Waiting for us. So I forgot to read up on these guys. As the most powerful Twilight's Hammer cultists to be twisted into elemental beings, the Ascendant Council members have long forgotten their existence. As mere mortals from their wicked sanctum, they oversee the selection of new Ascension candidates. Funny thing, that's actually a talent. I can become an Air Ascendant. Yeah. I've tried it out. I'm not really, like, it doesn't make me go, oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's like, it's okay. But honestly, I prefer the other one where it buffs my wolves.
Usurpers, children!
Nothing you have done.
Born of a lesser god!
I am trying to speak here.
Words, words, words! The Master wants murder!
All falls to chaos. All will be destroyed.
Chaos, chaos!
Your work here today changes nothing.
Chaos, chaos! All things end!
No mortal may see what you have and live. Your end has come.
Don't question me in front of the mortals. I'm trying to be intimidating.
I need a target.
Enough!
To his will, all flesh succumbs. From his kingdom, chaos comes.
Yeah, what he said. Run away, little girl. Just run away, little girl. Run away, little girl. Run away, little girl.
Destiny has come. Too proud, he speaks in blood. Listen. It is for his glory. Come, shades of twilight. Come, madness. Come, havoc. Come, infinite.
Ow, 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 ow. So yeah, the normal version of the raid would have finished, well, up there. But, you caught what they said there, right? Let her finish them. The Master does not want them near her, brother. The Master seethes. Ah! Alright, did he drop it? Did he drop it? Yes! He dropped it! Yes! Ooh. He dropped the Twilight's hammer. Yes, I got it! Ooh, a new, the Kilt of the Forgotten Battle. Membrane of Cthulhu. Okay, that one looks a little silly. I'll grab it, though. Oh, boy, am I happy I got that. Not this. This mace. One-handed maces. Yes! Twilight's hammer. I really wanted to get this mace appearance. Such a signature weapon. I mean, this is Cho'Gal's weapon. And now I can equip it on any character I want. I love that. Look, see? There it is right there. And now I have it. I do find it funny, though, that that's considered a one-handed mace. I would have thought that was a two-handed mace, but I'll take it. I'll gladly take it. Okay, so yeah, I mentioned that there was this extra boss named Sinestra. Yeah, this is actually a bit of a tricky encounter. In fact, I considered using a character that had a pet, like a warlock, a hunter, or even my Death Knight, to pull this off, because there's a sequence here that you kind of have to make sure you do pretty quickly, otherwise it's going to reset the whole thing, because it'll consider it failed. Oh, I forgot to read Cho'Gal. Sorry. Under Cho'Gal's control, the orcish Twilight's Hammer clan was transformed into a murderous cult obsessed with the old gods and their herald, Deathwing. Extended contact with his dark master has hideously warped both Cho'Gal's mind and body. And now, Sinestra. Originally Deathwing's prime consort, Sinestra created the first Twilight dragons, but was later obliterated by one of her terrifying creations. Now a ravaged husk, reanimated by insidious magic, Sinestra oversees the creation of new Twilight clutches. Prime Consort. Basically, she is the only dragon to have survived mating with Deathwing, because Deathwing wanted to make more dragons to serve his purposes. And she was the only one to actually survive that process. She is basically the mother of, well, at least I think she is the mother of both Nefarian and Onyxia. I think. I'm not entirely sure about that. Don't quote me on that. But, yeah, this is a, yeah. So, we can just fight her normal. And then she gets into a phase that's a little tricky. She draws upon ambient energy to restore her power and puts a shield to protect herself. And we then have to destroy her Twilight eggs. One on that side and one on that side. In a certain amount of time. Once the player destroys the eggs, Sinestra brings her magical duel with Kaelin to an end and attacks the players with her full fury. And that's basically when I can finish her off. That's really the only tricky part here. Is that you just fight her normal, but then when she gets that barrier, you have to bring the barrier down off the eggs, and in a certain amount of time before Kaelin dies in his duel with her here, and then you can be able to actually finish her off. It's a little tricky the first time you're trying to learn how to do it.
We were fools to entrust an imbecile like Cho'Gal with such a sacred duty. I will deal with you intruders myself!
It's too far away.
Well, okay then.
I tire of this. Do you see this
Run
glitch
away, little
amidst
girl.
which you stand? I have nurtured the spark within him that had life force
Run
is
away, little
and
girl.
always will be mine. Behold, power beyond your comprehension.
You are not alone in this dark place.
Oh, wait. That's right, I'm supposed to, like, drain her shield. And then be able to actually get the eggs. Yeah, here we go.
Me a great debt. One that I intend to extract from his consort's hide.
Come on. Ugh.
You are weakening, Syntharia. Accept the inevitable.
Take this for weakness? Fool!
Alright.
You are weakening,
gotta speed over to the other
Syntharia.
egg
Accept the inevitable.
There we go.
Girl.
Drawing upon this source will set us back months.
Quiet, big bad wolf.
You should feel honored to be
Run away,
worthy
little
of
girl.
expenditure.
Run away.
Now, die!
The Fire's Doom champions. Take this. The last of my power.
Deathwing,
Where I
I
have
have
been.
fallen.
Avenge me.
The brood
Avenge.
is lost.
Kaylin! Alright. So I guess... Yes. So you notice the, how... It had, you know, based on the dialogue, there was a certain time limit. Yeah, so if you take too long trying to do, you know, so I kind of messed up the sequence there. I forgot that you first had to focus her, and, you know, because she has her shields protecting the eggs while she focuses, but as you damage her, she has to, you know, stop protecting the eggs to kind of help herself. So that's when she drops the shields from the eggs. But I forgot that you had to focus her to get her to drop the shield on the eggs, and then you could quickly take on, you know, go focus down the eggs. And then quickly focus her down before she kills Kaylin. Because once she kills Kaylin, the whole thing just completely resets. So that was... Trying to figure that out the first time was a little tricky. But that's basically how it works. So I would say... And this, I kind of messed it up in this regard, is that I guess you could just stand here and try to focus her, and then try to... If you have a ranged DPS, maybe... like a mage or a hunter, then shoot that from there, shoot that there, and then try to focus her down. So there's a couple, you know, I guess different ways you can do that based on what class you're playing at the time. I did make it a little harder on myself, and I just managed to pull that off because it looked like he was literally dying right there, and if I went a little too long, I probably would not have pulled that off. It probably would have reset. I would have had to do the whole thing all over again. So that was the Bastion of Twilight. Seemed to not fully acknowledge or, you know, what was going on. I may have done that wrong, that first sequence with Cho'Gal, where he's just standing there taking it, and he's not even acknowledging me. I don't know. I don't know what I was, what exactly I was supposed to do or what I did wrong there, but, yeah, it's pretty straightforward, you know, in that regard. That you just go in, you kind of do this first boss, to the dragons. Yeah, Cho'Gal will just stand there, but whatever, just kind of move on, and he'll just kind of teleport himself into this room here. And it worked out for me, because I ended up getting his Twilight's Hammer Mace appearance, Transmog, and really happy about that. That's what I really wanted, so... And that's going to be the case later on in another raid in this expansion. So I mentioned the elementals and my shaman. Well, up next, we are going to be heading to the Throne of the Four Winds, because Deathwing also got a couple of the elemental lords on his side, and we couldn't really let that continue. More so with the Firelands. The Throne of the Four Winds with Al-Akir, well, yeah, I guess we'll talk more about that next time. Stay tuned.